Hello, Flint Hills Wood Turners members. I just thought I'd give you a tour of my lathe. One of the members had suggested that maybe I could do that, and being that this is a German manufactured unit, and probably I'm the only one in the club that has a German manufactured lathe, so we'll just kind of go through some of the features and talk a little bit about those aspects and why I chose it. So this is the Stratos 230, and it does have a baby brother that is a benchtop version. There is a bigger version that is an XLT, bigger horsepower, longer bed, so on. But the Stratos 230 is a 220 volt, 2 horsepower motor, and variable speed, 2 different settings for high and low on the way it's torqued. The main bed is overall length 45 inches from head to tailstock, and then you'll see down here I also have an extension that's about another 19 inches from that perspective. So it's an 18, I can do almost basically 18 over the bed, so the 9 inches to the center of the shaft. But one of the unique features that I really was one of the things that helped me decide on this particular one was I can take the extension down the end here. So I'm going to go over there and do that. And normally that is secured on. But I can take that extension and basically mount it below the headstock. And this headstock also rotates. So I'll show you that feature. So of course you have a locking mechanism to hold the headstock in place. Then it has another additional lock here. You unscrew that, and you can pull that out, and then your whole head will rotate. And I can then lock it over this bed, and the reality is now I have a total of 36 inches that I can use. You don't get a huge amount of depth per se, because you would take your banjo, mount that on the bottom here, and then you have an extension that goes in your banjo that allows for your rest, and you can do work. The other aspect with this is you can still use your banjo and actually do work on a piece that is now mounted on the front. So that was a really nice feature. The other aspect of this is it can be locked in pretty much any position you want. It does have a couple of presets. So there's one. There's another. And the nice thing about this particular aspect, let me make sure that that's still in the frame here. It is. You can actually work on something and not feel like you have to be leaning over the bed rails to work on the piece. features is nice. The headstock does move from one end to the other totally, and so that allows you for a variety of different aspects that way. I'm going to swing over here and actually show you that this mounts at the end with another plate. And then if you actually wanted, you could take that mounting plate and mount it down here and work off of the bed, off of the end from that perspective. You have a 4-inch range with the tailstock from that perspective as well. On the head, let's set up and move that back to a normal position. Have a cover, and that cover covers your two pulleys that you can change for high and low settings. So you release it in the back here with this lever, that frees up, and then you can pull the motor, move and adjust your belt to the low side. You'll also see while we've got this open that this is where your numbering for your indexing. This particular one goes up to 24, and then there's a little viewport that you can actually look through there. Right here is the locking mechanism for what position you are with the indexing. Of course, we also have a digital display, and then if you want to lock the spindle, that's this one here. Okay. That will lock that from that perspective. We also have a magnetic movable control unit, and of course it has forward and reverse with variable speeds to give you your rotation based upon what you're doing and how fast you can go with the balance and so on. So one of the things when I was going through trying to decide when I wanted to upgrade from a small bench top that I had, one of the biggest factors that led me to this particular one was it had most of the features, if not all of the features that I was looking for in a larger lathe. But ultimately the price was several $1,000s less than going with some other units that I had looked at that had most of these same features. And so that allowed me to put some of that money that if I had bought one of the other ones, I could put it into some of the tools and different things that you would need. You also see here where I've kind of set up with some ways of removing dust and whatnot. This is all adjustable based upon where I want to have the suction. It goes up, excuse me, and through the wall, and then eventually ends up back at the dust collection device that I have in the other room from that perspective. So all in all, this has been a real treat for me, and allows me to do almost anything that I want, from very, very small miniature all the way up through as large as almost 36 inches in circumference if I so choose as well. And so yeah, so it pretty much has all the standard features that most lathes do. I really feel that it's very well put together. I haven't had really a single issue with it since I got it, and so yeah, if you ever want to come over and see it yourself or use it, just make sure you give me a call and we'll set up a time and you can come see it for yourself. So that in a nutshell is a little mini tour of my lathe, and maybe we can get some others to even introduce theirs as well. So thank you.